From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Tuesday, September 30th. Final day of the month. We are turning the page to October, but it feels like midsummer temps outside. Going to be nice, bright, sunny today. Highs in the mid-80s, so just a few degrees cooler than yesterday. Breaking news, IMPD says 3 people are dead after late-night gunfire on the northwest side of Indianapolis. It happened on Guyon Road, just south of 47th Street. News 8's Colin Bailey is there.
Police initially said that 4 people were shot at this scene that's right here behind me, you can see, but that report was changed to 3 people shot. We do know that 1 person was shot outside the home behind me and 2 people were shot in a nearby vehicle. All 3 are pronounced deceased, and this started about 11:40 last night. IMPD says this started as a disturbance, a fight between 2 people, but did not give any specifics about that. But again, we just got some new video that you're seeing here right now. This morning, police towed this car from the scene. If you look closely, you can see several bullet holes in the windshield of that vehicle. Police have not yet confirmed that this was the car where those 2 people were shot. All investigators have said is that 2 people died at the scene of the shooting, while the 3rd later died at a local hospital. IMPD Captain Rob Ryder says police are desperately looking for help from the public.
We truly don't know what happened. We're hoping that there's some witnesses that maybe saw that just haven't come forward yet, maybe some doorbell cameras or someone that was here. And so we asked the public, if you know anything, please call 327-TIPS.
That is the number for Crime Stoppers. Again, 327-TIPS. Detectives are still working to figure out what exactly happened. IMPD says they don't believe there was a threat to the community. And any updates we'll get, we'll make sure to bring them to you on air or online as well. For now, here on the northwest side of Indy, I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Congress has until midnight to pass a bill to avert a government shutdown. Amy Kiley reports that talks over spending and potential cuts to health care funding appear to have hit a roadblock.
Millions and millions of lives will be upended.
The federal government could shut down tonight, and Americans could feel the impact. That's unless Congress reaches an agreement by midnight.
I think we're headed to a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing.
Sticking points remain. Democrats want to undo recent Medicaid cuts and preserve certain Obamacare subsidies. They also want to make it harder for the president to cut funds Congress has approved.
This relates to the well-being and the health of the American people.
In a shutdown, non-essential federal employees face furloughs. For Americans, that might affect customer service, paperwork, national parks, food inspections, and more. The White House is even threatening to fire some workers.
The federal workforce is already shrinking rapidly, down by 97,000 jobs.
Social Security payments will continue, but the timing could be confusing. Today, an unrelated executive order is ending paper government checks. Meanwhile, a shutdown could cause travel delays.
Planes will take off, but it's going to be a massive strain on the system.
Some experts worry a government closure could hurt the economy. It also could delay the release of economic reports crucial to investors and the Federal Reserve.
This will be a momentous week for the U.S. economy and the financial markets.
I'm Amy Kiley for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
A federal judge says the state can prevent people from changing their gender on their birth certificate. Indiana allowed such changes for many years until an executive order this spring from Governor Braun. He ordered a halt of gender updates on birth records. The ACLU then sued the state on behalf of 2 transgender people, arguing Braun's order was unconstitutional. The new ruling from U.S. District Judge Matthew Brookman says the order is constitutional because Indiana chooses to record sex rather than gender identity on birth certificates. Police say a threat that led to a lockdown of Westfield High School was not credible. Classes are scheduled as normal this morning. School leaders say someone called the high school claiming to be inside the building and threatening violence. The administration says officers swept the building as students and staff went into lockdown, including barricading room doors. About an hour and a half after the threat came in, Westfield police declared the building safe.
A little bit nervous, honestly, but now that I know the situation's taken care of and, it's not like it's going to happen again.
Police say they did detain some students in handcuffs for a time, but released them and now say there's no indication they were involved in the threat. The school's superintendent says support will be in place for students today. Morgan County commissioners are set to decide next week whether to approve a new data center. The project would use 158 acres of land near Monrovia. People against the proposal demonstrated last night ahead of the County Planning Commission hearing. The commission approved rezoning the land. Opponents say they are worried about higher utility costs and lower property values. Advocates say data centers are a necessary part of our digital world.
We think data centers are bad business for Indiana by how exploitative they are, and we don't want them here.
A data center really is reflective of everything that we do today with our devices, whether our laptops, our phones, videos, etc.
The Morgan County Commission is set to vote on the proposal at its meeting on Monday. The Fever hope to keep the season alive tonight. It's a deciding Game 5 against the Las Vegas Aces in the semifinal series. Andrew Chernoff is on the road with the team.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and the Fever are hoping to do everything in their power to make sure the Aces stay here following Game 5 of their best-of-5 series tonight. Winner moves on to the WNBA Finals. The loser's season comes to an end. Indiana is hoping to make the WNBA Finals for the first time in 10 years, and the Fever were hard at work on Monday inside Michelob Ultra Arena as they gear up for their biggest game of the season.
This is what you work so hard all off season, all preseason, and all season to position yourself for these moments. So it's really exciting for our group. I'm proud of our group for putting ourselves in this position, but we're not done yet.
I think it's an opportunity for us to kind of enjoy it. It's definitely an enjoyable moment. The fans, the atmosphere, the support from your family. I think collectively it's just a good opportunity, a good moment to have.
The Fever have faced pressure like this already in the last few weeks. In fact, they are 3-0 in elimination games this postseason, something they say says a lot about this group.
I just think that this group has had a lot of moments where we felt like our back is against the wall. Whether it meant that in our season or not, I think everything that we've gone through has positioned us to be able to handle moments like this.
The resiliency, we're not ready to quit. We're ready to put up a fight, and especially when we know that it's either season's over or you win, that we are coming out and putting our best foot forward and trying to win. I think it just goes to show that we're continuing to fight every single day.
Something good for the Fever entering tonight's game is that they know how to win here in Las Vegas, having beaten the Aces in Game 1 of the series inside Michelob Ultra Arena. We'll have you covered throughout the day as the Fever and Aces play in Game 5 of their playoff series with a trip to the WNBA Finals on the line. In Las Vegas, Andrew Chernoff, Wish TV, and WishTV.com.
If you want to watch the game alongside other fans, the team is hosting a watch party downtown. It's at Kilroy's on Meridian, 1 block west of Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Dance team and mascot Freddie Fever will be there. You have to be at least 21, though, to get in. It starts at 9:30. Indiana Pacers tip off their preseason in 1 week. Players and coaches went through Media Day Monday. Tyrese Halliburton is still healing from the Achilles injury that knocked him out of the last game of the NBA Finals. Team does not expect Halliburton to play this season, but he's keeping expectations high.
Standard is the standard. It doesn't matter if I suit up or if I don't. We've created a culture here that matters to me and matters to a lot of people as Indiana fans and matters to every guy in that locker room. And so I think when you have something special like that, you have to cherish that and take care of that.
Pacers' first preseason game is next Tuesday on the road against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here in Indiana, demonstrators are pushing against federal plans to use an Indiana state prison to house immigrants. The first are set to arrive this week. News 8's government reporter Garrett Bergquist spoke to protesters.
The first ICE detainees could arrive here at the Miami Correctional Facility as soon as Wednesday. Faith leaders say that's an affront to human dignity. Tim Frederick has driven up from Westfield to protest the detentions before. He says his Christian faith gives him a duty to speak out.
I mean, they're human beings too. And we're here to support them and to make sure that, that they have the treatment that they deserve.
Several dozen clergy and congregants marched outside the Miami Correctional Facility in what is fast becoming a monthly practice.
It is a moral crisis. It is an act of inhumanity and injustice. And as a people of faith, we must speak and we must act boldly.
Since the last protest, details about Indiana's contract with Immigration and Customs Enforcement have become public. The state will hold up to 1,000 men at the prison. Contract documents show they would be separated from the main prison population. The contract runs for 2 years. The federal government will reimburse the state up to $300 per detainee per day.
I think what people really need to understand in the state of Indiana, this is about money, and it's about greed, and that the state of Indiana is making a lot of money off of the exploitation of immigrants.
Frederick says he plans to keep protesting.
People are just, being picked up just because of the color of their skin. And that's not right. I mean, people have rights. They need to be treated. We need to follow the laws, obviously, in our country. But they should be treated humanely. And I think that's really important.
Protest organizers say they hope to gather again at the end of October. Neither the Braun administration nor the Department of Correction responded to my request for comment on the protest. The Department of Defense earmarked Camp Atterbury for ICE detentions as well earlier this year. So far, though, there is still no sign of any movement to set up a temporary detention facility there. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is backing President Trump's plan to end fighting in Gaza, but it is not clear if Hamas will accept the terms. Under the plan, Hamas must disarm and free any remaining Israeli hostages. In return, Trump says humanitarian aid for Palestinians will be restored, and an international group would oversee Gaza's reconstruction. Trump and former British Prime Minister Tony Blair would lead that group. The plan also says the Palestinian Authority will eventually govern Gaza, which Netanyahu opposes, but it does not give a timeline for that to happen. Negotiators for Hamas say they will review the plan and give a response. Let's go to Jane King now with your business headlines. She starts with gas prices.
Trending lower as we end the month of September, despite an active week in the tropics. Now, AAA says the national average price for a gallon of gas is $3.14. That is down 4 cents from a week ago. A year ago, that price was $3.22. Now, AAA says the average price in Indiana right now is $3.09, and that is down from $3.22 a year ago. Well, farmers will need government relief this year after the trade war choked off access to key markets. That's according to Senator John Thune, who did make those comments after President Trump made a similar promise earlier in the week last week. China has stopped buying U.S. soybeans for the most part, depriving American farmers of their largest export market. And YouTube will pay $24.5 million to settle a lawsuit brought by President Trump. The lawsuit stems from when YouTube suspended President Trump's account after the 2021 attack and protest at the U.S. Capitol. Now, previously, X and Meta have also paid millions to settle lawsuits related to the president's ban on those social media platforms in 2021. And Amazon's crackdown on some Prime accounts begins this week. Amazon quietly announced the discontinuation of the Prime Invitee program on its customer service site in early September, and that program will end tomorrow, so the invitees will lose access to Prime delivery. It's a 16-year-old program that allowed members to share the free shipping benefits. And stocks gained their footing yesterday, even as a government shutdown looms. Energy was the worst performing stock market sector yesterday after oil prices dropped. And this morning, markets look set up for a lower start. Dow's pointing down about 100 points. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.
This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.